Hey everyone, quick thing before we dive in. I was looking at my analytics and it turns out most of the people watching aren't actually subscribed. See this? Way more views than subscribers. If you're enjoying the videos and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow and you'll never miss new uploads. Alright, let's get into it.
I remember the exact moment I stopped being human. Not when the grenade went off. Not when they pulled what was left of me from the rubble. But when the Mechanicus tech priest looked at my ruined body and said, "This one still has cognitive function, acceptable for conversion." They don't tell you what happens to guardsmen who survive injuries that should have killed them. The Imperium doesn't waste resources on full medical restoration for common soldiers. No. If you're unlucky enough to live through something catastrophic, but too damaged to fight again, you become useful in other ways. You become property. You become a servitor. And if you're really unlucky, like I was, they leave just enough of your mind intact to understand exactly what you've become. My name was Corporal Davian Thresh. I served in the 117th Cadian Regiment for 6 years before the Orc offensive on Greenock 3. I had a family once, a wife named Sarah, a daughter I barely remembered because I'd been deployed when she was only 3 months old. I had dreams of going home, of holding my little girl, of sleeping in a real bed instead of a muddy trench. The grenade took all of that from me in less than a second. I don't remember the explosion itself. My brain has mercifully blocked that out. But I remember waking up in a field Medicae station, unable to move, unable to feel anything below my neck. I remember the smell of burned flesh and antiseptic. I remember the servo skull hovering over me, its dead eyes scanning my vital signs with mechanical indifference. The medic who examined me was young, too young, his hands shaking as he read the data slate. He wouldn't look at me when he spoke. "Your spine is severed at C4. Both legs are gone. Left arm too. Most of your torso is third-degree burns. Internal organs are failing." He paused and I saw him swallow hard. "I'm sorry, soldier. There's nothing we can do with field equipment." I should have died right there. That would have been mercy. But the Mechanicus had other plans. The tech priest arrived 3 hours later, his red robes pristine despite the mud and blood covering everything else in that tent. He moved like a spider, too many augmetic limbs clicking and whirring as he approached my cot. His face was mostly metal, only one organic eye remaining, and it studied me with cold calculation. "Subject retains higher brain function," he said, his voice processed through a Vox grill that made it sound hollow and distant. "Frontal lobe intact. Speech centers viable. Memory core undamaged. Usable." The medic protested. "Tech priest, this man has family. He's a decorated soldier. Surely he deserves to continue serving the Emperor. In death or transformation, we all serve. His body is destroyed, but his mind can be repurposed. He will become a servitor, a maintenance unit. He will serve for decades, perhaps centuries, far longer than his frail flesh ever could have." I wanted to scream. I tried to, but my vocal cords were damaged, and all that came out was a wet, rasping wheeze. The tech priest leaned closer, his mechanical eye focusing on my face with a soft clicking sound. "Do not fear, guardsmen. You will be blessed by the Omnisia. Your suffering will end. Your purpose will be eternal." That was the last time anyone spoke to me like I was human. The conversion process took 3 weeks. They didn't sedate me for most of it. The Mechanicus believes that pain purifies the flesh before its transformation into holy machinery. They chanted hymns in binary while they cut away what remained of my body. They sang praises to the machine god while they hardwired neural interfaces directly into my brainstem. I felt Every incision, every drill, every electrode being threaded through my gray matter. They removed everything below my shoulders, my entire lower body, gone. Replaced with a tracked locomotion unit, like a small tank chassis. My remaining arm was stripped to the bone, then encased in an industrial manipulator limb designed for reaching into tight spaces and working with plasma conduits. Where my left arm had been, they installed a multi-tool appendage with welding torches, diagnostic scanners, and gripping claws. My face was the worst part. They kept it mostly intact because servitors need to be identifiable for administrative purposes. But they removed my lower jaw and replaced it with a mechanical Vox unit. They took my eyes and installed augmetic sensors that feed visual data directly into my brain. I can see in spectrums humans were never meant to perceive. I can detect radiation leaks, thermal variations, electromagnetic fields. But I can't cry anymore. I don't have tear ducts. The final step was the lobotomy. Partial, they called it. Selective neural dampening. They burned away the parts of my brain responsible for complex emotion, for independent thought, for rebellion. They left just enough consciousness for me to perform my designated task, but not enough to question or refuse. Except they made a mistake. A tiny miscalculation in the procedure. They left more of me intact than they intended.
I'm aware, fully, horribly aware, trapped inside this mechanical body, able to think and remember and feel, but unable to disobey my programming. I'm a prisoner in my own mind, forced to watch as my body performs its endless maintenance routines without my consent. When the conversion was complete, they gave me a designation. Servitor Unit 7743-M. Maintenance Classification. Assigned to the Imperial Fortress ship Unrelenting Duty, a massive vessel that's been patrolling the outer sectors for over 400 years. They loaded me into a cargo transport along with 17 other servitors. Most of them were completely gone, their minds scoured clean, leaving only biological robots that performed their tasks with perfect, empty efficiency. But there was one other, a unit designated 8821 Core M, who sometimes made sounds that weren't part of standard servitor vocalizations, soft whimpering noises. I think he might have been aware too. I tried to communicate with him during the 3-month journey to the Unrelenting Duty, but my Vox unit won't let me speak anything except maintenance reports and status updates. If there are others like me, trapped and screaming silently inside their mechanical prisons, I'll never know. The Unrelenting Duty is old, ancient by Imperial standards. Its hull is scarred from centuries of void combat, its corridors are dark and corroded, and its systems are held together through constant maintenance and prayer. The ship houses a garrison of 10,000 Imperial Guardsmen, 300 officers, a full Mechanicus shrine, and over 5,000 servitors performing every menial task imaginable. I was assigned to Sub-Level 93, Deep Engineering Section. My specific duty is maintaining plasma conduits in the ship's lower decks, the ancient pipes and cables that feed power to the vessel's massive engines. These conduits run through crawl spaces too narrow for standard tech priests, through radiation-flooded chambers that would kill an unaugmented human in minutes, through sections of the ship so old that the original construction plans have been lost. It's dangerous work. Plasma leaks can vaporize flesh in seconds. Radiation exposure is constant. The conduits are prone to catastrophic failure. But servitors are expendable. If I die during a repair, they'll just send another unit to replace me. My daily routine is programmed into my neural interface. Every morning at 0400 hours, my consciousness flickers to awareness whether I want it to or not. My body rises from the charging station where I've been powered down for the night.
I perform a diagnostic self-check, reporting any malfunctions to the Mechanicus overseer. Then I receive my work orders for the day. Navigate to Sector 7-G. Inspect Conduit Junction 447. Replace damaged pressure valve. Recalibrate flow regulator. Return to charging station. Repeat. Every single day, for years now. The same corridors, the same conduits, the same mindless routine. But I remember. God Emperor, help me, I remember everything. I remember Sarah's laugh, the way it sounded like music. I remember my daughter's tiny hand wrapping around my finger the day she was born. I remember sitting around a fire with my squad, sharing ration packs and telling stupid jokes. I remember what it felt like to run, to breathe, to be human. And now, I crawl through dark tunnels on metal treads, my mechanical limbs reaching into spaces filled with superheated plasma, my augmetic sensors detecting leaks and failures that I report in a flat, emotionless vox tone that doesn't sound anything like my voice used to. The worst part isn't the work, it's the isolation. Servitors don't speak to each other. We're not supposed to have anything to say. We receive orders, we execute tasks, we return to our stations. The tech priests treat us like tools, performing maintenance on our bodies with the same care they'd give a broken drill. The guardsmen stationed on the ship don't even look at us. We're part of the machinery, no different than the pipes we repair or the doors we operate. I pass dozens of humans every day, and not one of them sees me as anything other than an object. Sometimes I catch glimpses of the guardsmen in their barracks, laughing together, playing cards, writing letters to families they hope to see again. I want to scream at them. I want to tell them I was like you once. I had a name. I had people who loved me. I was a soldier. I was a man. But my Vox unit won't let me. All I can say is, Maintenance Servitor 7743 Thresh M. Reporting. Plasma conduit inspection complete. No anomalies detected. Everything changed on day 2847 of my service. That's how long I've been counting. 8 years, 2 months, and 11 days since my conversion. I was performing a routine inspection in one of the deepest sections of the ship, a place called the Forgotten Hold. It's an old cargo bay that hasn't been used in over a century, but the plasma conduits still run through it, so I have to check them monthly. The air down there is wrong, stale and cold, and somehow heavy, like the darkness itself has weight. My radiation sensors constantly ping with low-level warnings. The walls are covered in rust and corrosion, and the only light comes from my augmetic eyes and the faint glow of emergency lumens that flicker like dying stars. I was halfway through my inspection when I heard it. A voice. Not a Vox transmission. Not a mechanical sound. A real human voice. Speaking in Gothic, calling out from deeper in the hold. Hello? Is someone there?
My programming told me to ignore it. Unauthorized personnel in restricted areas are not my concern. But that tiny piece of my mind that's still human, still Davian Thresh, made my body stop moving. I turned toward the voice and saw her. A woman, young, maybe 20 standard years. She wore the tattered remains of a guardsman's uniform, but no insignia, no rank markings. Her face was dirty and gaunt, her eyes wide with fear and something else, desperation. She was staring at me with a mixture of hope and terror. "Please," she said, her voice cracking, "please, I need help. I've been down here for 3 days. I got separated from my unit during a repair operation, and I can't find my way back. The corridors keep changing. Nothing makes sense. Please, can you help me?" I wanted to help her.
Emperor, I wanted it so badly that it hurt, a phantom pain in a body I no longer had. But my programming wouldn't let me. Servitors don't deviate from assigned tasks. We don't help, we execute orders. My Vox unit activated automatically. Maintenance Servitor 7743 Thresh M. Unauthorized personnel detected. This unit is not equipped for rescue operations. Please contact your commanding officer. The words came out flat, mechanical, devoid of any humanity. But inside my mind, I was screaming. The woman's face crumpled. No, please, you don't understand. There's something down here. I hear it at night, scratching in the walls, whispers in languages I don't know. I think this section of the ship is cursed or haunted or corrupted. I think something bad happened here a long time ago, and it's still here. Please, I just need someone to show me the way back to the upper levels. My body started moving again, continuing my inspection as if she hadn't spoken. My programming was pulling me away from her, forcing me to complete my assigned task. But that tiny piece of me that was still human fought back. For the first time in 8 years, I tried to disobey. I tried to make my body stop, to turn around, to help her. And something incredible happened. My body stuttered. My treads locked up for half a second. My manipulator arm twitched in a direction that wasn't part of my programmed movement. It was barely anything, just a momentary glitch, but it was proof that I could still fight, that some part of me was still in control. The woman saw it. Wait, are you still in there? Are you aware? I tried so hard to answer her. I focused every ounce of willpower I had left on my Vox unit, trying to force it to say something, anything that wasn't a standard response. This unit must complete assigned task, my Vox unit said, but the words came out slower than normal, with strange pauses, like I was fighting the programming with every syllable. She understood. I saw recognition dawn in her eyes, followed by horror. She realized what I was, what had been done to me. Emperor preserve us, she whispered. You're trapped in there, aren't you? They didn't take your mind. They just locked it away. Yes, please, help me. Help yourself. Get out of here before they find you and do this to you too. But I couldn't say any of it. My programming reasserted control, and my body continued moving deeper into the hold, away from her. I heard her crying behind me. Then I heard her footsteps as she ran in the opposite direction, desperate to find her way back to the light. I hope she made it. I hope she escaped this cursed place and lived a full human life. But deep down I know the truth. The forgotten hold doesn't let people leave. She's probably still down there somewhere. Or worse, they found her and converted her just like they converted me. That encounter broke something inside me. Or maybe it fixed something. Because ever since that day, I've been fighting. Every single moment I push against my programming, trying to reclaim even the smallest piece of control over my own body. Sometimes I succeed. Tiny victories. I can make my manipulator arm move an extra centimeter outside of standard parameters. I can delay my return to the charging station by 3 or 4 seconds. I can make my Vox unit glitch in ways that almost sound like real speech. It's not much, but it's mine. It's proof that Davian Thresh still exists somewhere inside this mechanical prison. They say servitors don't dream, but I do. Every time they power me down from maintenance or charging, I dream of the life I lost. I dream of holding my daughter, now a woman I'll never meet. I dream of Sarah growing old without me, maybe remarrying, maybe telling our child that I died heroically in battle instead of the truth, that I'm still alive, still serving, still suffering in a nightmare that never ends. I dream of the orcs who threw that grenade, and I hate them. But I hate the Imperium more for what they did to me afterward, for deciding that my life, my humanity, my soul were all acceptable losses in service to the Golden Throne, for turning me into a thing instead of letting me die with dignity. The unrelenting duty will sail through the void for centuries more, and I'll be here the whole time, crawling through its darkest corners, maintaining its ancient systems, counting the days of my imprisonment. Maybe one day my body will finally fail, a plasma leak will consume me, or a conduit will explode and end this torment.
Until then, I endure. I remember. And I fight, in the only way I still can, to hold on to the last fragments of the man I used to be. My name is Davian Thresh. I am a husband. I am a father. I am a soldier of the Imperium. And I am still human, even if nobody else can see it anymore. The Mechanicus calls what they did to me a blessing. They say I've been elevated beyond the weakness of flesh, that I now serve the Emperor in a higher capacity than I ever could as a mere guardsman. But I know the truth. This isn't a blessing, it's a curse, a punishment worse than death. And somewhere in this vast, uncaring Imperium, there are thousands more just like me, trapped inside metal bodies, screaming silently into the void, begging for someone to remember that we were once human too. If you're listening to this, if somehow my thoughts have escaped this prison and reached you, remember us. Remember that every servitor you see was once a person, had a name, a family, dreams and fears. We didn't choose this. We were made into machines against our will, and we suffer every single day of our existence. This is what the Imperium does to those who serve it. This is the price of survival in the 42nd millennium. And Emperor, help me, I don't know which is worse. That they did this to me, or that they'll keep doing it to others long after I'm finally, mercifully destroyed.